Itu gimana dong? Aku di jalan. Ya Allah.
Welcome to IALF, the Indonesia-Australia Language Foundation. IALF has been at the forefront of excellence in language training and testing for over 35 years, empowering people across Indonesia and beyond. IALF offers something for everyone, from general English courses for all ages to specialized programs such as IELTS test preparation for those preparing to study overseas or business English for professionals. IALF has provided pre-departure academic English language training for Australia Awards scholarships since the 1980s, as well as for other prestigious scholarship programs offered by New Zealand, the UK and other countries. Our general English courses cater to learners at all levels, building a strong English language foundation and opening doors to new opportunities. For young learners, we offer dynamic programs that make learning English enjoyable and effective. A good score in an international test such as IELTS or Pearson Academic is a prerequisite for studying or working abroad. At IALF, we offer testing services and test preparation courses for the general public and for government agencies to ensure that candidates perform at their absolute best. At IALF Global, we provide expert study abroad counselling services, guiding clients to the best international education opportunities. IALF Global Education Fairs connect students with institutions worldwide, broadening their horizons. IELTS tryout sessions provide realistic practice, boosting confidence and readiness for the actual exam. IALF branches are strategically located in Jakarta, Gading, Serpong and Bali. We are always within reach to support your educational journey. Reflecting on our 35-year journey, we are inspired by the success of our students, alumni and partners. Join the thousands who have transformed their lives through language studies with IALF. Together, we build brighter futures.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. Selamat datang di PTE Academic 101 Master the Basics bersama IALF. Terima kasih telah bergabung semuanya. Sore ini kita akan belajar bersama tentang tips dan strategi cara mengerjakan PTE Test, PTE Academic khususnya, bersama IALF PTE Academic Trainer yaitu Miss Stefani Manggoro. Namun sebelum kita mulai sesi PTE Academic 101, izinkan saya memperkenalkan diri dan lembaga kami, IALF. Nama saya Happy, saya adalah Marketing Manager di IALF Gading Serpong. Dan mungkin ada beberapa dari teman-teman yang belum tahu IALF itu apa. Saya akan menjelaskan sekilas mengenai layanan-layanan kami. So, IALF is Indonesia's premier institution for English and Indonesian language training, international testing, teacher training, and overseas education services. Kami memiliki 3 cabang di seluruh Indonesia. Yang pertama, kami ada di Jakarta, di Sudirman Park. Kemudian kami ada juga di Tangerang, di IALF Gading Serpong. Tepatnya di Paramount Rodeo. Kemudian di IALF Bali, di Denpasar. Kami telah bekerja sama dengan banyak klien dan juga partner, mulai dari scholarship, institution, kemudian juga dari lembaga-lembaga pemerintahan dan yang lainnya. Layanan-layanan kami ada beberapa. Yang pertama adalah kami menyediakan persiapan IELTS dan juga PTE. Di kelas ini, teman-teman nanti akan belajar bagaimana strategi cara menjawab soal-soal IELTS dan PTE beserta latihan-latihan soal. Kelas ini diajar oleh guru-guru IALF yang berpengalaman tentu saja dalam IELTS testing dan juga PTE testing. Kemudian yang kedua, IALF merupakan penyelenggara IELTS dan PTE test yang resmi di Indonesia. IELTS test dapat diambil di seluruh cabang-cabang IALF dan juga offsite test center di seluruh Indonesia. Sedangkan PTE test untuk sementara ini terdapat di IALF Gading Serpong di Tangerang. Kemudian ketiga, kami menyelenggarakan IELTS Insight Test, yakni simulasi IELTS test berbasis komputer yang dapat teman-teman lakukan sebelum mengambil IELTS test yang resmi. Kemudian yang terakhir, di IALF kami memiliki divisi bernama IALF Global yang akan membantu teman-teman untuk studi lanjut ke luar negeri. Nah, untuk IELTS test sendiri, IALF menyelenggarakan IELTS test di cabang-cabang IALF, yakni di Jakarta, Gading Serpong, dan Bali. Dan kami juga menyelenggarakan IELTS test di berbagai kota di seluruh Indonesia, seperti di Malang yang bertempat di Universitas Negeri Malang, kemudian di Mataram di Universitas Mataram, kemudian Makassar di UIN Alauddin Makassar, di Batam di Poli Batam, dan juga di Pontianak di Bansa Foundation, dan kota-kota lainnya. Teman-teman dapat melakukan pembayaran IELTS test itu menggunakan kartu kredit dan terdapat opsi cicilan 0% selama 3 dan 6 bulan menggunakan kartu kredit BNI, Mandiri, dan juga BCA yang berlogo Visa, Mastercard atau CCB. Dan jika teman-teman melakukan pendaftaran IELTS test yang diselenggarakan oleh IALF, teman-teman berhak mengikuti kelas IELTS Orientation di mana kelas ini diselenggarakan secara online dan diampu oleh guru-guru IALF yang berpengalaman. Sebelum tes yang resmi, teman-teman dapat bertanya secara langsung ke guru-guru kami apa saja yang perlu disiapkan dan juga strategi dan tips cara mengerjakan soal IELTS-nya. Dan jika ingin persiapan lebih lanjut, kami menyelenggarakan IELTS Preparation Modular, di mana kelas ini tersedia secara online atau juga offline di cabang-cabang IALF. Dan jadwal kelasnya ada di weekdays, yaitu Selasa sampai Jumat, selama 2 atau 5 minggu, atau setiap hari Sabtu selama 6 minggu. Untuk mengikuti kelas ini, teman-teman perlu mengambil placement test terlebih dahulu secara gratis di websitenya IALF. Dan juga minimum level untuk bisa join kelas ini adalah pre-intermediate 3 atau setara dengan IELTS 5,0. Teman-teman tidak perlu menunggu untuk mulai kelasnya karena kelas ini dimulai setiap minggu. Jadi bisa masuk di hari Selasa atau di hari Sabtu setiap minggunya. Namun jika dari hasil placement test tadi teman-teman belum mendapatkan standar minimum untuk bisa masuk ke IELTS preparation, kami menawarkan satu kelas namanya IELTS Foundation, di mana kelas ini diselenggarakan secara online dan dimulai setiap 2 minggu sekali. Di kelas IELTS Foundation ini, teman-teman akan belajar skill bahasa Inggris dasar sekaligus strategi pengerjaan soal-soal IELTS test. Lalu sebelum mengambil IELTS test yang official atau yang resmi, teman-teman dapat mengambil IELTS Insights Test. Tes ini adalah simulasi untuk IELTS test yang komputer dan dibuat semirip mungkin dengan official IELTS test. Tes yang diujikan mencakup semua skills dalam IELTS test, yaitu listening, reading, writing, dan juga speaking. Tes dapat dilakukan secara offline di IALF Gading Serpong atau di IALF Bali dan juga secara online melalui website kami. Dan teman-teman dapat juga memilih modul sesuai yang dibutuhkan, apakah itu akademik untuk study atau general training untuk bekerja atau migrasi. Setelah tes, teman-teman akan mendapatkan feedback atau report yang berisi uh, saran-saran dari teacher kami yang berpengalaman. Nah, jika yang dibutuhkan dari IELTS Insight Test ini hanya speaking skill-nya saja karena ingin mendapatkan feedback langsung dari teacher, teman-teman juga dapat mengambil IELTS Insight Test yang khusus speaking. Dan tes ini juga bisa dilakukan secara offline, tatap muka dengan teacher kami di IALF Gading Serpong atau Bali, atau secara online melalui Zoom. Silakan untuk lebih lanjut bisa men-scan QR code yang ada di layar atau bisa masuk ke website kami di www.ialf.edu. Oke, mungkin ini informasi yang teman-teman paling butuhkan saat ini, ya ini official PTE test di IALF. Untuk PTE test sendiri sementara ini hanya diselenggarakan di IALF Gading Serpong dan tes PTE diselenggarakan setiap Rabu sampai Sabtu selama tahun 2025 ini. Teman-teman dapat melakukan booking PTE hingga 24 jam sebelum waktu tesnya jika kuota masih tersedia. Untuk pembayaran PTE test sendiri pada dasarnya itu menggunakan kartu kredit. Namun terdapat opsi lain jika teman-teman tidak ada kartu kredit, yaitu teman-teman bisa melakukan pembayaran menggunakan PTE Academic Voucher. Jadi silakan bisa menghubungi IALF untuk membeli voucher PTE dan pembeliannya nanti bisa menggunakan rupiah melalui transfer. Jika sebelum tes, teman-teman ingin mendapatkan materi yang lebih detail atau strategi dan tips dan juga latihan yang lebih banyak lagi, teman-teman bisa mengikuti kelas PTE Express atau PTE Academic for WHV. Kelas ini dilakukan secara online melalui Zoom selama 2 minggu. Dan teman-teman selain belajar interaktif dengan teacher kami, akan juga mendapatkan official score practice test dari Pearson senilai 36 USD dan itu sudah include pembayaran untuk kelasnya. Selain itu, mungkin teman-teman ada yang jadwalnya ingin yang lebih fleksibel begitu. Kami memiliki opsi PTE Prep Premium di mana kelas ini lebih dedicated dan juga jadwalnya lebih fleksibel. Dan kelas ini tersedia paket 5 jam dan 10 jam. Dan seperti yang PTE for WHV tadi, teman-teman juga akan mendapatkan official score practice test dari Pearson senilai 36 USD dan itu sudah include dengan pembayaran kelasnya. Selain itu, di IALF juga kami menyediakan layanan pendampingan studi ke luar negeri. Jadi, IALF Global dapat membantu teman-teman mulai dari memilih jurusan, kemudian universitasnya, aplikasi ke universitas, student visa, akomodasi, dan sebagainya. Dan semua layanan IALF Global itu gratis dan terbuka bagi siapapun, tidak hanya untuk student IALF. Dan terakhir, kami memiliki layanan essay consulting services, di mana teman-teman nanti dapat submit essay-nya ke kami, dan kami akan mengecek dan memberikan feedback untuk diperbaiki. Essay yang disubmit ke kami dapat bermacam-macam, mulai dari essay aplikasi beasiswa, kemudian personal statement, dan sebagainya. Untuk range harganya sendiri, mulai 1,2 juta rupiah, nanti tergantung dari panjang essay dan juga tujuan dari essay tersebut. Untuk keterangan lebih lanjut, nanti teman-teman bisa menghubungi kami. Lalu ini event kami di minggu depan. Ada event offline di IALF Gading Serpong, yaitu Study in the UK, Explore UK Universities, di mana akan ada perwakilan dari 4 universitas ternama di UK yang akan datang ke IALF Gading Serpong. Jika teman-teman ada di wilayah Jabodetabek, mungkin silakan bisa register dan juga datang ke acara ini, dan ini for free. Oh ya, dan teman-teman bagi yang datang ke acara ini akan mendapatkan akun IELTS tryout secara gratis yang bisa diakses di rumah masing-masing. Jika ada pertanyaan lebih lanjut mengenai IALF tentang layanan-layanan kami ataupun mengenai promo mungkin yang sedang berlangsung, silakan teman-teman bisa WhatsApp ke WhatsApp IALF Indonesia Official di nomor ini atau bisa scan QR code yang ada di layar. Oke, untuk penjelasan mengenai IALF, sudah saya terangkan dan sekarang now we are moving on to the main session of today's webinar PTE Academic One-on-One Master the Basics, and this session will be interactive, so we encourage all participants to turn on their cameras. Okay, and our speaker today is Miss Stefani Manggoro, a certified Pearson PTE trainer at IALF. Stefani has many years of experience in teaching English, including the IELTS pre-person courses, PT academic courses, and also general English. Okay, just wait a moment. Okay, Miss Stefani, are you ready?
Yep, I am. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
okay,
Mas
the time
Happy.
is yours.
All right. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to PTE Academic 101, Master the Basics. And thank you, Mas Happy, for the introduction just now. Yeah. All right. So, first thing first, we are conducting a polling to know if you've taken a PTE test before, and we want to know your PTE academic target score as well. So Mas Happy will be conducting the polling. So please participate. Now we're waiting for your answers, and let's get to know each other about everyone's background. Okay, please fill in the polling. Right? Okay, 50% participants already. Thank you very much. We're waiting for 100%, yeah? Okay, thank you very much for participating, everybody. In general, quite many of us have taken the any English test before. Why do you want to take PT academic? For studies, yeah, most of the time, most of you. Targeted score from 56 to 88. 56 or 75. Okay. Right. Thank you very much for participating in the polling, everyone. What do you think, Masep? Should we end this or we're waiting for a bit more?
If I have ended the poll.
Oh, you have ended it. Okay, thank you very much. Uh, I'm sharing the result. Yeah, so everybody can actually see it. So yeah, thank you very much. So basically, you all want to study for you want to know about PT academic for your studies, basically, right? And yeah, you've experienced IELTS test and TOEFL test before, right? Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Now, on this opportunity, I'll be sharing tips and tricks on how to tackle all four parts of the test, from speaking, writing, reading to listening. Right, we're moving on with the types of PTE tests. Anyone knows how many types of PTE? Right, there are four of them. We've got academic, core, PTE UK VI, and home. Right? But today, because you're all aiming for studies for most of us, so we're going to focus on PT Academic. So, what is PT Academic? It's computer-based test assessing your academic level of speaking, writing, reading, and listening. It lasts for 2 hours and you'll get the results within 2 days. It's scored by AI plus humans, especially for the content criteria. Now, PTE is for anyone who is studying abroad, who might want to work or migrate to Australia or New Zealand, or you might want to work as a nurse in the US. The range of scores is from 10 to 90 points, and there will be human examiners whenever there are unusual scoring. And for these question types, for the content criteria, they're all checked by human examiners too. So how is PTE scored? There are two types. You're either said to be correct or incorrect, or there's also partial credit, where you might be partially correct. And some of the criteria of your performance will be checked. For example, we'll take describe image question type. First, there will always be human examiner checking your content. So make sure your content is relevant, because if you get 0, there'll be no further scoring. Only when your score is greater than 0, then the other traits such as pronunciation and oral fluency will be checked. Then it will all contribute to your total score. This is what the test taker score report looks like. And in your My PTE account, you can see your profile, the detailed explanation of your performance as well during the test, plus recommendations on how to improve. This is the comparison of your scores. There are 3 levels: foundation, undergraduate, and postgraduate. For most of us, maybe we need to get around 51 to 60 for undergraduate degree, and for postgraduate, around 57 to 67. In your test center, when you're doing your PTE test, there will always be an erasable booklet provided in which you can actually scribble and write some notes. The screen looks something like this, with various features from word count to the timer. Right. Be careful when you're doing the PTE test. It's all done on the computer with no on the computer on your screen, right? You're on your own, and you need to make sure there is you need to make sure the status box is recording, especially when you're doing your speaking test. When the status bar is not recording, it means your answer is not recorded, right? There's also one important thing for PTE test. There's something called 3-second silence rule. So whenever you pause for more than 3 seconds, then your answers won't be recorded anymore. Okay? So gotta make sure that you don't pause longer than 3 seconds. Just keep on talking. Right, moving on now to the parts of the test. We've got 3 parts. The first part is joining speaking and writing together. Then part 2, reading. Part 3, listening. In part 1, speaking and writing, there are 9 question types as follows. These are the question items in sequence that you're going to see on your screen one by one. The scoring basically will check your content, oral fluency, and pronunciation. Okay, the very first part of PTE test will always begin with personal introduction. You have 25 seconds to prepare, 30 seconds to record your response, and this is not scored, but it will be sent to the institutions of your choice. So you might want to prepare this response before the test, including your interests, your plans for future study, why you chose this test, and so on. Make use of this chance to get used to the recording system as well. All right, moving on to the very first score test, which is reading aloud, where you're going to have around 30 to 40 seconds to prepare. You have 40 seconds to read aloud, and you will get 1 point for every correctly read word. The tips for this is to try to say the word softly on your own and be familiar with the wordings, with the text. And so once the recording starts, you don't make a mistake. Remember, even if you make a mistake, Just keep on going. Do not repeat any word or phrase because then you are making another new mistake. This is what the text looks like, and you might want to just say it and then get it recorded, okay? For the next question type, it's repeat sentence. So for repeat sentence, an audio file will begin automatically. Then you have to repeat the sentence immediately after hearing it. You will get 1 point for each correctly repeated word. Try to remember as much of the sentence as you can. If you miss or do not understand a word, try to make the same sounds that you hear. Okay. There is one sample answer over here. Anyone interested? This is a very short sentence. Anyone wants to repeat the sentence? Anyone wants to give it a go? Okay, I'm waiting for a couple of seconds. So you might want to raise your hand. Okay, thank you very much, Reza. Take your chance. I'm going to play the sentence. Go ahead and repeat after it. You might want to unmute yourself too, yeah? I'll play the recording.
Sorry, Miss, I cannot hear anything.
Sorry for that. Let me see. Okay, thanks very much. I'll repeat again.
Students are encouraged to take part in a range of activities.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Students are encouraged part. I just remember that.
Sure. Okay, well done. You've got the students right. Let's see. You've got the students right. You said encourage as well just now, right? So you've got points for everything you said right. So for example, if you somehow forget the range or take part, right? But then you somehow know the activities, mention about it because you will get a score for the activities. All right, Reza? Thank you for your attempt. All right, Reza? Okay, that's the repeat sentence. There will be quite many of them, so go ahead, make sure you practice on this. There will be around 10 question items for this, quite many sentences. Moving on to the describe image question type, you will see a chart, diagram, or map, 25 seconds to prepare, 40 seconds to speak. Remember, your content is rated by AI plus human examiner. Make sure it's relevant so that you can have points for your pronunciation for other traits. For the content scoring, make sure you mention the key elements and the relationships and developments, as well as the conclusions. The suggested structure would be to, of course, have the introduction, continue with overview, so talk about the big picture of the chart, of course, provide some details, and then end with a conclusion. The next question item is retell lecture. You will hear a lecture. You might see an image about the lecture. You have 10 seconds to prepare, 40 seconds to speak. Just like before, the content is rated by AI plus human examiner. You will get good scores when you mention all points of the lecture, as well as mentioning the characters, aspects, developments, and conclusions. The suggested answer would be to begin with talking about the topic. For sure, mention the main idea and then the supporting details plus conclusion. Okay.
6.
Moving on now to answer a short question where you will hear a question and you need to give a short answer, just in one or a few words, right? Okay. Anyone wants to give this a go? Short answer question? Anyone wants to answer? Raise your hand. Oh, Robert, thank you. All right. I'm going to play the question and then you are going to give me the answer right away, okay? Good luck.
6. What is the opposite of east?
Come on. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm giving you another chance, I guess. But remember, in the real test, this won't happen. Yeah. Okay, maybe another one. Okay, another one. Okay, once more, yeah?
6. What is the opposite of east?
Yeah. What is the opposite of east?
East, west,
Yeah. Sure, the
6.
accent could be a problem sometimes, yeah. They're talking, of
6.
course, they're chunking
What is the
everything.
opposite of east?
Yeah, you got it right. It's west, all right? Well, that's the problem about answer short question. You can only listen to it once. So if you miss it, you miss it, unfortunately. So yeah, go ahead and keep on practicing, get to know a little bit more about this and keep on practicing. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time, Robert. Okay, much appreciated. Right. Moving on now to the tips and tricks for answering short question. You need to practice on different kinds of topics from school, work, science, geography, right? For the next question item, we've got summarizing group discussion, where you will listen to a group discussion between three people. You should take notes while listening. The topic will be academic. Once the listening is over, you only have 10 seconds to prepare, 2 minutes to speak, and summarize the discussion. Well, 2 minutes is quite long, so you want to make sure while you're listening to the audio, get ready with your erasable note because then you have to take effective notes, right? It is highly suggested that you have a certain kind of template. You may use this sort of template. So make sure you give yourself enough space to write down the key points of whatever said by the three speakers. This is key. If you do not take effective notes, it's really, I don't think it's possible for us to remember lots of points, right? So make sure you write down something so that you can talk for 2 minutes afterwards. For the content scoring, the accuracy and completeness of a summary is important. You also need to mention relationships between different perspectives between, the three speakers. Talk about the connection between them. Of course, you need to express it with vocabulary and expressions that's accurate, with logical sequencing, and of course, provide cohesive devices. Next, you've got respond to a situation. This is the last question, this last item for speaking test. You will read and listen to a prompt giving you instructions for the situation. You can take notes, but you have very limited time for this. After the audio ends, you will have 10 seconds to prepare and 40 seconds to respond. The scoring for the content is whether you deal with the situation effectively and whether you consider the context of the prompt and you use the appropriate expressions. This is the example of the practice prompt. So there'll be a situation, all right, you've booked a meeting room at the library from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. And then most of the time there'll be a little problem. Like, oh, it turns out there's some of the students are sitting in the room. Then you have to quickly think about it. What would you say to them? This is the example. You can say, oh, hi, excuse me, I've booked this room for 2 p.m. Then you can say, oh, sorry about that. Like, will be about. Yeah, basically requesting to use the room in an appropriate manner. Yeah. Okay. And that's about it for the speaking items. Moving on to writing question types. We've got two types only: summarize written text and then write essay. For the writing scoring, we've got content. You also need to be careful with your form and grammar, vocabulary, linguistic range, and spelling. For summarizing written text, you have 10 minutes to read and summarize the text, and you need to give a summary of one sentence only. You need to write between 5 to 75 words. Be careful for the content and form. Your summary should be accurate. You should mention all aspects, and you need to provide it within one sentence, which means only one full stop at the end. If you do not make it in one sentence, then you will get 0 for your form criteria. Remember, do not write in all caps. You should write well with, one capital letter for at the very beginning of the sentence, and then a full stop at the very end. The suggested structure would be to provide a main idea and then the supporting ideas. You might need to use complex structures, so use words, join sentences with which, who, where to pack your ideas into one single sentence. This is the example. As you can see the answer key over here. It could be quite long, so you can use commas, that's for sure. Commas actually do help, as well as a complex sentence. And then remember only one full stop, right? For summarizing written text. Moving on to writing essay. You have 20 minutes to plan, write, and revise. Not so much time, really. You need to write 200 to 300 words within the time limit. And the content scoring would be whether you include all aspects of the prompt. For the form, you need to make sure you write between 200 and 300 words. And of course, no memorized response. You will automatically get a 0 for your content. It's important for you to do brainstorming for at least the first 3 to 5 minutes of your time when you're doing writing essay. Why? Because you can't turn back. You need to make sure that the content is relevant. So you want to start writing key ideas on your erasable noteboard first, know what your ideas are, and make sure you know what to write. And only after you know those ideas, then you can start with these structures. You begin with your introduction, introduce a topic, continue with body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and then your conclusion. This is a sample answer. So as you can see, there will be the topic, right? And then you also talk about your opinion over here. Make sure you always talk about your opinion, whether you agree or disagree. And then you have the supporting ideas for the in the body paragraphs, and obviously the conclusion. Right. And that's about it for part 1. Moving on, we've got part 2, reading. So it will be over within 23 to 30 minutes. You have 15 to 20 questions in total, 5 question types. For the reading question types, there are 5 of these. Right, as you can see, for fill in the blanks drop down. Okay, for the first question type, it's fill in the blanks drop down, where you will click on each gap in the text to reveal drop-down list. You need to select the word that best fills the gap. The tips is to skim the passage first to find out the main idea. Identify the keywords in the passage. You need to read before and after the blank so you know the context, so you can actually choose the correct word. Next, we have multiple choice, multiple answers, question type. Be aware for this question type. You will not be told how many options are correct. There's also partial credit over here, which means you will get 1 point for every correctly selected option, but then you will also get penalized if you choose something incorrect. So the tips is to note any repeated words. For example, the word multigrade classes, it appears quite many times in the options, so you might want to pay attention to those and scan the text for them. Another strategy for multiple answers, whenever in doubt, just choose one answer that you think is right. It's better to get 1 point than to just choose whatever you think is right, and then you end up with a 0 because you've got penalized, you've got -1. So if you're unsure and then you're running out of time, leave it be. Just choose the one answer that you totally are sure of. Okay? So that you can get points. The next question type is reorder paragraphs, where you need to reorder sentences to restore the original order of the text. So on the screen, you need to drag and drop everything into the targeted box. The tips over here is to use pronouns linking words and phrases to help you decide on the correct order. Of course, you also need to decide what is the first sentence, the very first topic sentence. So something that's not with pronouns, most of the time they'll be the first sentence. Moving on to fill in the blanks, drag and drop, where you need to drag and drop words into the correct place in the text. There are more words than gaps. Over here, especially for this question type, you need to work on your knowledge on collocations. So academic collocations in English are very important. If you know collocations, anyone knows what collocation is, maybe? Maybe you can share your knowledge a little bit. Anyone knows what collocation is? Have you ever heard this before? Okay, so collocation means words that go well together. Yeah, so they are words that are paired well together. So the more you know about the pairs, the better you'll do drag and drop question type. Yeah, the next strategy is to know the nouns, verbs, and parts of speech of words, so you can eliminate words that are not grammatically right. To the next question type, multiple choice single answer, where you read the text and select one correct option. Your scoring will be either correct or incorrect, so for this one, make sure you answer. Even though you're doubtful about it, it's okay. Just pick an answer, because who knows, you get it right. Moving on to the very last question type, it's part 3, listening. It's approximately done within 30 to 43 minutes. There are 8 question types. Remember, you can only hear the recordings once. These are the question types as follows. We're beginning from the very first, summarizing spoken text. You're listening to an audio recording. You can make notes on the erasable booklet where you need to summarize the audio recordings in 50 to 70 words. You have 10 minutes to complete the task. For the content scoring, the accuracy of your summary is important. You need to mention all relevant aspects and make sure the form is also correct, between 50 and 70 words. The suggested structure, yeah, of course, mention the main points and supporting details. Just like when we do the speaking question type, taking notes is also very important over here in the summarizing spoken text. So practice taking notes on the main idea while listening to a lecture. You can do this anytime at home. You can listen to YouTube videos about TED Talks, for example. There are lots of lectures that you can get over there. Then try to listen while taking some notes and then try to summarize it yourself. So, and then say it out loud. And that could be nice. Or you can make a summary or say it out loud. Yeah. Moving on to multiple choice, multiple answers. This type is pretty much the same as the reading question type, but this time it's listening. So instead of reading a text, you're listening to an audio recordings. Remember, the same rule applies for multiple answers. It's a partial scoring, so you will be deducted. You'll be penalized if you answer something incorrectly. Just like before, make sure if you only when you're sure with an answer, you choose it, right? If you're unsure, leave it. For the listening, be careful. You need to comprehend the meaning. Don't just match the words that you hear with the text because more often than not, they're going to be paraphrased anyways, so they won't be exactly the same. The next question type is fill in the blanks. You need to listen to the audio recording and complete the transcript with the missing words. You need to click on each gap and use the tab button or on your keyboard to move between gaps. Yeah, so you might need to practice on this as well so you're not left behind when you're typing in. And one more thing, because the audio, when you're listening to it, the audio file will be, will keep on talking, right? So it'll be pretty fast. So you might not be able to catch up because you need to write. So you might just write contractions beforehand, just something that you can actually recognize. And then after the audio recording ends, then you spend some time to correct your spelling. All right, just make sure you catch every word first. The spelling will be taken care of later once the recording ends. Let's continue with highlight correct summary. You are going to listen to an audio recording. Then you need to select the summary that best matches the recording. So as you listen, you also need to make notes on your erasable booklet so you can have the key points. Then you can start comparing it with the text, with the options later. Moving on with multiple choice, choose single answer, where you're listening to the recording and read the question. You're going to select one correct option. Skim the question beforehand, whenever possible, before the listening, so you know what you should focus on. Next, we also have select missing word. So you will listen to an audio recording. The last word or phrase is missing. So you need to select the best option to complete the recording. The tips is to review linking words and phrases so that you know so it's easier for you to know, oh, this one is then paired with this ending. Next, we also have highlight incorrect words, where you need to listen to an audio recording. You need to read the transcript and make sure you have your mouse ready. So you need to highlight, to click on the words that are different from the recording. the audio file, of course, will be quite fast, right? So you need to be agile with your mouse. So make sure you just follow along the audio, and whenever there's something different, just click on it and then continue again, right? If you're following that way, it will be easier that way. Next, we have write from dictation. You will listen to a short sentence, and then you need to type the sentence that you hear in the box. You will get partial credit scoring on this, 1 point for every correctly spelled word. All right, this is the exercise that can be done by everybody. Right, so everyone, let's get ready. I want you to get ready with your chat box. Can you type? Are you ready to type, everyone? So I'm just going to click on, I'm playing the audio file again. And for anyone interested, go ahead and type in the chat box so that you can try the write from dictation. Are you ready? Yep. Okay. Let's give it a go.
2. Some young people find city life rather stressful.
Start typing. Thank you very much. Lots of people writing something here. Right. Let's
2.
reveal the answer now.
Some young people find city life rather stressful.
Yeah, some young people find city life rather stressful. Let's see. Yeah, you did great. I think Haris, yeah, Haris is almost right. You only made one mistake. The found, it should be fine. And be careful with the spelling. Stressful. Unfortunately, if your spelling is wrong, it is then wrong. So yeah, great job, everybody. And lots of people got it right too. Remember, even if your answers are slightly different, you will get 1 point for every correct spelled word, right? So just make sure you write something and you will get some correct points. You will get some points from every correct word that you write. Yeah? Thank you very much for participating. Oh, what do you mean? More? Anyone? What? Okay, somebody is chatting more. Oh, another example? Okay. All right. I'm sorry, I don't have any other example for this, but I have another one if you want to from a answer short questions if you're interested. Okay. The approach is to type as you listen and then write every word that you hear. Yeah? Use your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary to guess missing words. And that's about it for the overview, guys. And if you're interested with more practice on some of them, I've got a little bit more if you're interested. Yeah. But then that's about it. Hang on, Masab, there's still a little bit more at the very end. So now that you've known the overview, I would like to tell you how to prepare for PT Academic as well. So actually, in the Pearson website, you all have the Smart Prep. It's free resource for everyone, and it contains. You can go to the Smart Prep. You just need to make an account at Pearson, and then go to the Smart Prep. Then you can go to the guided practice test, all skills, which will then tell you on how to will give you the examples of all the criteria I told you just now, so you can actually give it a go. Right? So there you go. You can check personpt.com for any updates on the test as well. And thank you. That's about it. Any questions? Must have.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you,
must
Miss
have is
Stefani.
okay. Thank you.
The presentation was very insightful. Thank you.
All right.
Now, we'd like to open the Q&A session, so feel free to type them in the chat box or raise your hand if you'd like to speak directly to Miss Stefani. Okay, now let's move to the Q&A session. Or maybe, Miss Stefani, there are some people who like to oh, sorry. Okay. Reza, raise hand. Okay, Reza, could you please open your camera and then ask your questions?
Sorry, I cannot open my camera, sir. But
All
That's
right,
all right.
ask
that's
uh,
okay.
after 7 August, the PTE told us if they have like some many change and we cannot use our templates again. How about that? Is it more difficult for us to take a good score in PTE rather than else? Because after that, people said it's very difficult. Thank you.
Okay, that's a very interesting question, Reza. Sure, there are lots of updates going on after the 7th of August, including the new question types. Actually, I've given you I've given you the updated one. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Um, Talking about the question type, there are two new speaking question items. These two, the summarized group discussion is new, as well as respond to a situation. But there are also lots of changing in the scoring session, in the scoring criteria, especially in the content criteria. I've told you just now that there are lots, now, the content criteria, is checked by human examiners. It's not that case back in the days before the 7th of August. And maybe that's why you said everything is harder, because then you can't blabber nonsense anymore, basically, right? I mean, you can't just sound confident. You have to know what you're talking about, and you need to give relevant ideas. You see? But then, well, it makes sense. The content should be relevant, right? And yeah, it could be hard. Well, again, PT and IELTS, they're both challenging. So if you hear people saying that, oh, PT is very easy, I don't think so. They are both hard, so they're both not to be underestimated. They're different in a way, so it depends on you. You pick your poison, I should say. Yeah. Any other question, Reza? What do you think?
Okay, Miss, because before I
Mhm.
just try for official IELTS and I just got 6 and I feel so bad. So I run into PTE, but it's
Oh.
still more.
Both are hard. So if you've chosen one, maybe just stick with it because both are equally hard in my opinion. It's just that some people favor PTE because the interaction is totally computer based, right? Like there's no human interaction basically during the test. So some people who are introverted, they love that. So they don't need to meet human examiner. I mean, they don't need to talk to any human at all. Except for like later there'll be the invigilator, but that's very minimum, right? There's no testing that's including a human examiner. So if you like it that way, so maybe PT is for you, but whether it's easy or not, well, they're both challenging, and you need to spend some time for practice first before taking the test. I think my answer is also answering Stephanie Heidi Mulia's question in the chat box. Yeah, the difference about PT. That's the difference.
Okay, moving on to the next question from Joy Kimberlin. How long to get a high score, 76 to 88? Maybe it means the preparation, I guess.
Preparation, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a hard, a hard question to answer. Um, First thing first, it depends on your own basic ability. If you're, let's say you're already an upper intermediate, so it will be a bit, then you will need shorter time to prepare. But I should warn you, even upper intermediate students have to prepare a lot, and it's still very challenging for them. Especially because 76 to 88 is very high. Remember, the highest score is a 90, which means you are aiming for perfection over here. So you can see how, you know, how challenging this could be.
Can I ask something again?
Sure.
I want to know because I take the English course in Australia is the reference level. If I take the placement test for Australia, he is get the intermediate class. But if I take placement test to Indonesia, I can go to the IELTS preparation. Is the reference level? Is it?
Well, if it's intermediate, well, the level is valid all over the world, right? So if you've got intermediate, which means there you go, it's intermediate level. So you still need to work your way up to, let's say, upper intermediate, and then, I mean, again, intermediate, it means you're still in intermediate level, right? Which means you need room for improvement too. There's still room for improvement, which means you also need to work on your basic English as well as preparing for the PTE, which means you need a lot of time too.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Joy.
All right, now move on to Nino. Hi, Stefani. Can I use the highlight cursor in the IELTS, like in IELTS reading passage test for PTE?
No, you can't. There isn't that sort of thing in PTE. Highlight. However, in the reading passage, you know what? The reading text in PTE is very short compared to the ones in IELTS, anyways. It's really short compared to, like, extremely short compared to an IELTS test. So you don't need the highlighting, anyways. You just need to skim, scan, and then get your answer. Yeah.
All right. Okay, then Stephanie again, how many times can I take the PTE test in a year? I heard from my friend there's a limit, and I'm wondering how the yearly calculation works. Does the quota reset when the new year starts?
For this one, I think Mas Happy, as the admin will know more
Yeah, I
about
don't
it.
think that there's a limit
Yeah.
for taking the PTE test,
Yeah,
so
as I
you
know, there's no limit too, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
so you can retake the PTE test at any time.
Yeah, anytime you want. It's just that it's burning your money. So, Stephanie, the limit is your money, I guess. Uh, right.
Then next from Luha Ayu Luna
Yeah.
Angelina, if we didn't get the score that we wanted in PTE, can we retest one day after? Oh, I think after your result, the previous result has been released, yes, you can re-register for the test.
Yeah. Retest one day after you get the result, right? It's not like you're testing like after the test date, right? Okay. Thank you, Masab, for the answers. Okay, any other questions? Oh, I think somebody raised hand. Victoria Christine Bana.
Hello, can you hear
Hello.
me? All right.
Yes, we can.
All right. Well, I would like to ask you about the essay part. Well, you said that about memorize sentence. It is like template, or
Yeah.
can we
Yeah.
can we still like use template? I mean, like a simple template, more like structure. Like I only like memorize one part of the introduction and then move to first paragraph, like
Oh,
firstly, and then
sure.
can I do that?
Sure. If you okay, that's you're just providing structure for yourself, right? So you know that, okay, for the opening, maybe these are the words that I'm going to use, and then, okay, I'm going to use firstly, secondly. It's okay. It's fine. But then some people use absurd templates sometimes, and then they use it for any kind of essay, then of course it doesn't work that way, you know? But then if it's like only firstly, secondly, it's fine. Okay, Victoria?
Right. Can I use like when introduction, I explain a little bit of like memorized sentence, but it's just like a simple word that can use in many essay, in all of essay. Can I
Such
use
as?
such as like no, I already made like one of the template for introduction. It is like the growing influence of blah blah blah. Can I use that?
Oh, mm, well, depends on the topic. The topic might not about be influence of something anyways. Well, I think the better approach would be to paraphrase. Again, memorized phrases might not be useful for all questions, Victoria, unfortunately. So you might want to just paraphrase. Look, okay, you can see my screen, right? Maybe we can go over this. Right, for example, we've got the topic taking part in sport as an adult is important for health and happiness, right? To what extent do you agree? So first, you can paraphrase this instead. So I think instead of focusing on, okay, you know what paraphrase is, Victoria? Anyone knows what paraphrasing is? Maybe you can share your knowledge a little bit. Nandian, yeah, somebody who said yes. Nandian Ayu, could you please, are you saying yes to me? Yes, Zidan, sure.
Yes.
Thank you. What is it, Nandian Ayu? Could you explain what paraphrasing is?
Changing the structure of the sentence without changing the meaning.
Well done. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So, thank you for Nandian Ayu as well as Zidan, yeah? Rephrasing within the same context. Exactly. So instead of focusing your energy on using templates, memorize templates, right? It's better for you to, practice on paraphrasing things, paraphrasing topics, paraphrasing the question, so that once you encounter any sort of question, you can know how to paraphrase well. Then it will always be relevant. What do you think, Victoria?
Well, I'm a bit of speechless, but
Well, it's never a problem for you to memorize templates. It's okay, but then you just need to make sure. Of course, we all try to prepare for the test by coming up with, of course, we try to memorize some less common words, right? The one that you said is very good too. It's just that make sure it's relevant. Don't force it when it's just not right. You know what I mean? Victoria. So it's okay. You can memorize some expressions and less common words. That's a good strategy. Just know that you might not be able to use it. There's a chance for that. The one thing that will always the one skill that you will always need would be paraphrasing instead. Okay. I hope it's clear enough. Yeah, Victoria. Any other question?
Yes, it is from Krisma Apriani. Is it
Oh.
possible for the PTE test results to be released within 24 hours? And
How
I
is it,
can,
must
yeah,
have at the
I can
admin?
say that yes, it is possible because
It is possible.
usually the result released within 2 days,
Mm,
typically in 2 days. So
yeah,
it is possible if the result release is in 24
24
hours.
hours.
Yes.
I think we usually got the online notification first beforehand too, right? So it's within 24 hours most of the time. Yeah, right. Thank you, Masep. Right. It's clear, yeah, for Krisma. All right. Anyone else? Oh, okay. Victoria, do you want to ask one more question?
I have one more question.
Sure.
Well, you said if there is no limit in retests, PTA academic, I would like to ask if I can only take one part of test, for example, like only for reading if my score didn't match.
Unfortunately not for PTE test, yeah? I think you've heard for the IELTS test, it works now. They're offering that for PTE. They don't have it just yet. Yes, okay, this Majid, yeah, from Abdullah. I'm sorry, it's abbreviated. So from Majid, okay, are all types of the questions applied in one single test? Yes, everything I told you from the beginning to end, they are all appearing in the test. Not only one, like most of them will appear like multiple times, except for writing essay. There's only one question type, one item. Thank you. Okay, I think that's about it, everyone. Any other questions? We still have some time if you want to ask for more. Oh, online course in ILF for PTE. How is it? Maybe it must have been our admin, please. Our marketing team, please.
Yeah, I've already replied
There
Robert's
you go. Yeah,
questions. Yeah.
that's a lot for you to read, yeah. Okay. I
So
hope
everyone here
it's clear,
can
Robert.
maybe take the placement test first before joining the class for PTE preparation. Then you may know your English level.
Yeah.
And it is free. You can do it online 24 hours on our website www.ialf.edu. Okay, any more questions? Is it difficult to get score 60, Miss Steph?
Wait. Oh, where is it?
It's from Robert. It's
Oh,
next,
Robert.
yeah, below
Oh,
my
yeah. To get
answers.
score 60. Again, it goes back to your placement testing. It goes back to your initial ability. Okay, let's see. I'm going to show you the scoring again, the comparison of the scores. I told you that for the level foundation, you need to achieve at least around 60 over here. Okay, we've got it over here, right? Foundation, 36 to 50. So if your initial ability is still a little basic, so getting a 60 is still pretty hard. But then if you're already in your intermediate level, for example, then I'm not saying it's easy for you per se, all right? You still have to explain, you need to practice a lot first beforehand, but the chance for you to get 60 would be higher if your initial ability is already, let's say, intermediate level. Okay, Robert.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Thank you. Okay, the next question.
Next question from Lira Aryani. I've got 34 scores before learning the PTE, and now I plan to reach 50. Now my score is 40. Could you please give me tips for this?
For Lyra, is it possible for Lyra to just direct message me her scores because it's privacy, right? But if only you could Yeah, is it possible for Lyra to direct chat me? Not to everyone, but you can direct chat me. What's your weaknesses, for example? Your score is a 40. To reach 50. The thing about PTE, I once had a student who already got 70, but she needed to get 71. So it was so annoying. I should admit that even getting an extra 1 point could be quite challenging because she actually got a 70 already, but she needed to get a 71. So I can't really guarantee that it's easy for Lyra. You might want to use a smart prep, for example, at Pearson, or maybe take a class with us. Suddenly, a sudden marketing, huh, must have. So for Lyra. Yeah, go ahead and go to the smart prep first, maybe. And if can I ask where you learn? Lyra, are you like which website are you learning from? Is it from the official PTE website or another website? Okay, so from a website, yeah, Lyra. But it's not from Pearson. Maybe, yeah, you might want to go to the Pearson PTE website, the one that I told you just now. Okay, let me just. And then why don't you go to the Smart Prep? It's for free. Go ahead and take a look at it first and practice on that. Okay, you can go here, Lyra. Here, pearsonpte.com. If you're interested. And then go to pearsonpte.com and then create your My PTE account. Then you will go and look at the My PTE Smart Prep. Then you will have free resources. But then if it's still not enough, well, again, I think maybe you need a class, maybe. Could be, yeah. Okay, thank you, Lira. I hope it helps. All right.
Okay,
The next question.
meanwhile, Miss Stephanie, I apologize for Stephanie Heidi Mulya, the previous answer. So yes, there is a limit for the retaking the PTS test. I just found out the new
Oh,
policy. You
all
can
right.
go to this link, guys, and it says that you can take the test more than once a month. However, you can only take the test up to 12 times within a 12-month window. So in some cases, you might be granted permissions to take the test more times. To request this, please submit to the exception form. So yes, I guess it is the new policy. So 12 times in a year.
Oh, the maximum amount is 12
maximum.
times.
Yep.
Thank you, Masab. Yeah, I think PTE keep on changing their policy here and there. So always check the pearsonpt.com for updates about the test too, guys. Yeah. Okay. Masab, another question maybe? Do we still have some time?
Oh yes.
Uh-huh.
Another question from
Hello.
sorry, from Stephanie again. If I need a PTE score equivalent to IELTS overall band 6.0, what would be the approximately score for each PTE section, and what would be a safe score to aim them?
Yeah, regarding that, the comparison would be the one that I showed you at the very beginning. This one. For example, 6 for IELTS, then you should get around 51 to 60. Overall, though, for the section, for each of the section, for each PTE section, basically everything would contribute to an overall band, right? An overall score. So for the each section, it's really up to you. I mean, like you try your best and just try to get around 51 to 60. Around that, yeah. But again, for Stephanie, you might want to check your institutions. They will most of the time tell you what their minimal requirement is for PTE tests. Yeah. And there's a question from Nino as well. Must have
Oh yeah, from Nino. Hi,
from Nino. Yeah.
Yeah, for the writing test is it has the same format as in IELTS writing 2? I mean, the answer has the format like introduction, body 1, body 2, and conclusion.
Sure. Thank you, Masab. Yes, it's actually pretty much the same, with just a little extreme because in IELTS test you have 40 minutes to do writing test 2. This one only 20 minutes. So basically it's the same, but somehow you have to speed things up. So it's like the more how do I say? It's a little bit more nerve-wracking because you have to plan everything within 20 minutes and then write and get things done in 20 minutes as well. Okay, Nino?
All right. I think Victoria would like ask some questions again.
Mhm.
Right, I'm sorry to interrupt. Well, have you ever heard about Alpha PTA? Because I already booked practice in Alpha PTA for preparation. And I would like to ask, is it accurate with person or should I book the official person? Because I only have like 7 days. 7 days before I will take my PTA academic test because my test will be on next Friday. So should I keep with Alpha PTA or should I book with Pearson?
Pearson is the answer. That's the only official one we have. Yeah, Masep? Have you ever heard about Alpha website?
Not yet.
No, I've
Yeah.
never heard about it either, Victoria. Are you booking and paying Alpha website?
Yes, I paid a lot
Oh,
because one of my friends also used our PTA and for practice, and hers when she already take the test, her result is 90.
I'm not sure. I've never heard about it. But you still book the test from uh Pearson, right? It's not like you're only paying a huge amount of money in the Alpha website, right? For learning only, not for the testing. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, for learning only for
Sure. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know, but I believe there are lots of websites offering PTE learning. That's for sure. If you think it's good, why not? I've never heard about it. Sorry.
right.
Yeah. hmm Okay. Here are the. Okay. All right. I think um that's a wrap up. What do you think, Wasab? Anything else?
Okay, it looks like there are no more questions at the moment.
Okay.
Right, everyone? Oh, what is the details? Okay. Okay, please wait a moment, Robert.
Oh, yeah. Was I being distracted? Oh, okay, let's wait for a minute. All right, Robert. Yeah, we actually have PT Premium. It's private class 101. Yeah, face to face with your teacher over here. Yeah. It's usually 5 to 10 hours anyway, so you can choose whether you want to study for 5 or 10 hours private with the teacher. So it could be face to face or it could also be online if you think it's more convenient. There you go from myself. Very comprehensive. Okay. Thank you, myself.
All right then. If there are no more questions, thank you once again, everyone, for your attention and also participation throughout the session. We hope that today's webinar was informative for you. Okay, one more chat. Oh, okay, thank you. And also feel free to reach us if you have any more questions after the session. We'd be happy to assist. And again, maybe I can share my screens once more. Wait a minute. Okay, this is our WhatsApp number. You can save it on your phone and then chat with us if you've got more questions. Okay, with that, we'll close today's webinar. Thank you, everyone, and see you next time.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Marcel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stefani and everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.